Hare Krišna. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjanaya. Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjanaya. Yamunatira Vanacharya. Yamunatira Vanacharya. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjanaya. Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjanaya. Yamunatira Vanacharya. Yamunatira Vanacharya. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jayam Vishnu Patmana Mahamsa Parivrajakacarya Ashtatarashata Shishimat. His Divine Grace Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavad Gita Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna. Translation is just now coming. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Yeah, but probably you have to do something with it. Maybe you have to start it somehow. Okay, let's see. Maybe. Anyway, we did something wrong way. Okay. Something. Okay, so we're reading from Beremo Bhagavad Gita Ka Krishna hai. Just joking. Chapter 3, Karma Yoga. Text 20. Karmanaiva hi samsiddhim astita janakadaya lokasangraham evapi sampashan kartumarhasi. Karmanaiva hi samsiddhim astita janakadaya lokasangraham evapi sampashan kartumarhasi. Karmanaiva hi samsiddhim astita janakadaya lokasangraham evapi sampashan kartumarhasi. Karmanaiva hi samsiddhim lokasangraham evapi sampashan kartumarhasi. Karmanaiva hi samsiddhim astita janakadaya lokasangraham evapi sampashan kartumarhasi. Karmana, by work. Eva, even. Probably Mataji needs also translation. Okay. He certainly samsiddhim in perfection, astitaha situated, Janaka Adaya, Janaka and other kings, Loka Sangraham, the people in general, Eva Api, also, Sampashan, considering, Kartum, to act, Arhasi, you deserve, Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. Kings such as Janaka attained perfection solely by performance of prescribed duties. Just for the sake of educating the people in general, you should perform your work. Purport. Kings like Janaka were all self-realized souls. Consequently, they had no obligation to perform the prescribed duties in the Vedas. Nonetheless, they performed all prescribed activities just to set examples for people in general. Janaka was the father of Sita and father-in-law of Lord Shri Rama. Being a great devotee of the Lord, he was transcendentally situated, but because he was the king of Mithila, a subdivision of Bihar province in India, he had to teach his subjects how to perform prescribed duties. Lord Krishna and Arjuna, the Lord's eternal friend, had no need to fight in the battle of Kurukshetra, but they fought to teach people in general that violence is also necessary in a situation where good arguments fail. Before the battle of Kurukshetra, every effort was made to avoid a war, even by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but the other party was determined to fight. So, for such a right cause, there is a necessity for fighting. Although one who is situated in Krishna consciousness may not have any interest in the world, he still works to teach the public how to live and how to act. Experienced persons in Krishna consciousness can act in such a way that others will follow, and this is explained in the following verse. Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Shimate Praradananda Swami Tinamine Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Shimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Tinamine Namaste Sarasvate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nivishesha Shunyavadi Shatyade Shatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So there's a theme to these verses. There's this method of remembering something from the Bhagavad Gita which uses acronyms. So for the acronym for this chapter is 3. So T comes from Tyaga, renunciation, first few verses from this chapter. And then R comes from rungs on the yoga ladder, steps on the yoga ladder. And first E comes from exemplary action. And we're in this section now. And next E comes from enemy of the soul. So this section speaks about how advanced persons act in order to give an example to others. We'll see in the next text what Krishna continues this. And it's true in some way that devotees have no duty. You know, it's said, there's Srila Prabhupada says also in Bhagavad Gita, first chapter, text 41, in the purport, he speaks that, I will just read one part. He says, one who is engaged in devotional life is not required to perform such actions. Simply by performing devotional service, one can deliver hundreds and thousands of forefathers from all kinds of misery. It is stated in the Bhagavatam, this verse 11:5:41. Devarshi bhutaptan rinam pitrinam nakinkaronayam rinicharajan sarvatmaya sharanam sharanyam gato mukundam parihritya kartam. Anyone who has taken shelter of the lotus feet of Mukunda, the giver of liberation, giving up all kinds of obligation, and has taken to the path in all seriousness, owes neither duties nor obligation to the demigods, sages, general living entities, family members, humankind, or forefathers. Such obligations are automatically fulfilled by performance of devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Vedic literature teaches us that we have many obligations. We have some obligations to the demigods. They give you water. They give you sunshine. They give you heat. They give you light. You have to pay for this. Sages, they give you knowledge. You have to pay for the knowledge that you get from the sages. Other living entities, they can give you some things. Family members, mother and father, they give you this body. Humankind and forefathers also. So all these debts, they have to be paid. Nothing is for free in this material world. So as soon as you are born, you have so many duties. It's like this nowadays in America. They have, if you join university, you start with $200,000 credit. You have a debt of $200,000 to pay for the studies, to pay for this, that. It's like you're in debt, huge debt. And similarly, you are born, you have a huge bill to pay. And in this verse, in this part, Krishna says, if you're a devotee, no need to pay. You don't need to pay anything anymore. You're free. Of course, we'll see. There's some conditions. Lord Nrsimhadev says to Prahlad Maharaj, he says, the Supreme Personality of God has said, my dear Prahlad, O most pure, O great saintly person, your father has been purified, along with 21 forefathers in your family. Because you were born in this family, the entire dynasty has been purified. So a devotee, he's not just purified, but he purifies his whole family. So that's quite some statements. But a devotee has no duties. But there's a note here. For example, this verse from Bhagavatam says, someone who has taken to the path in all seriousness. There is a key word there. All seriousness. Really serious, okay, no more debt. Not so serious, still have some debt. So this doesn't speak about aspiring devotees. It speaks about devotees. And of course, to the degree that we are devotees and that we surrender to Krishna, we have no other duties. But if you don't surrender to Krishna, Krishna will pay the debt if we're a devotee. Otherwise, we have to pay ourselves. So there's this difference between not doing your duty can be done on this devotional platform, but if it's not on this devotional platform, you don't do the duty because you do a higher duty, do some other duty for Krishna, then it's called vikarma, sinful actions. Yeah, you should do something and you just don't feel like doing it. You have some duty and you don't feel like doing it. So if it's for you abandon your duty to do a higher duty, then Krishna will pay the bill. If you abandon your duty and you don't do higher duty, little problems. Yamaraj will ask you, hey, you didn't pay the bill. Why? So that's one thing that should be understood. What kind of duties does it speak here? It speaks mostly about duties in the Varnashrama system. The main principle of the Varnashrama system is Yagya Vaivishnu. Everyone is somehow or other engage in yagya. The whole Varnashrama system is meant to do yagya, and everyone is engaged somehow. Brahmanas are reciting mantras, Kshatriyas are organizing the yagya and providing everything, Vaishyas, they usually have resources, and Shudras, they usually do some physical work. They do something, they assist. So everyone is assisting the yagya. So these duties, this doesn't speak so much about doing your duty, that, for example, you're new to Krishna consciousness and you're a butcher. Your job is to kill animals, and you have to do your duty to show an example. No. Krishna is not so much interested in this kind of duties. But the point is, even if a devotee doesn't have some other type of duty, but a devotee still has duties. It's he has duty. Main duty is towards Guru and Krishna. Actually, Guru means gurus, more gurus. Diksha Guru, Shiksha Guru, we talked about this before, but this is a common misunderstanding. I have duty to my spiritual master, but to other senior devotees who act as Shiksha Gurus, I don't have a duty. No. And I was talking with Markandeya Rishi Prabhu. He gave a class on Sunday, and he told me after on breakfast that he forgot to mention one thing. And he told me what, and I thought it's really interesting. And he said that there's a difference between material and spiritual knowledge. The difference is material knowledge, you get the knowledge and you do whatever you want with the knowledge. Yeah, you get material knowledge and you do what you use it the way you like. But spiritual knowledge is different. Spiritual knowledge means that first you surrender to Guru, and then you get knowledge, and then this knowledge you are supposed to use it the way the Guru is telling you. So it's not knowledge that now I know and I can use it the way I like it. No. Now this knowledge I get also comes with how you're expected to act on that knowledge. So that is somehow important. So a bit also on this, the verses before we'll just read, because you can put broader picture. So I'll just read the verses from 17 to 19. It says, 17, but for one who takes pleasure in the self, whose human life is one of self-realization, and who is satisfied in the self only, fully satiated, for him there is no duty. So Krishna says the same that we heard in other verses. Yeah, devotee has no duty. Self-realized devotee. But then he continues, he says, okay. A self-realized man has no purpose to fulfill in the discharge of his prescribed duties, nor has he any reason not to perform such work. Nor has he any need to depend on any other living beings. So Krishna says, yes, a devotee doesn't need to perform duty, but he's not lazy. He's not that, I don't need to perform duty, so I will not perform any duty. Krishna says also, if you're self-realized and you have no duty, but you can still perform your duty. You have no reason not to do it. So, and then he says, in the text before, he says, therefore, without being attached to the fruits of activities, one should act as a matter of duty, for by working without attachment, one attains the supreme. And then here in this text he says, a self-realized person acts in a way that others can imitate and get benefit. So a devotee doesn't have any duty, a real devotee. But he is still like, so even if we would be beyond duties, which we probably not, but even if we would be, we should still do our duty to give an example, a good example for others. So here we have in the text and the purport 2 examples of pure devotees. Who do they do their duty? One is Janaka Maharaj and the other is Arjuna. And why do they do their duty? Because if they don't follow, if they don't do their duties, no one else will do the duty. It's that simple. Like His Holiness Praladananda Maharaj says, you have to preach all the time, and sometimes you have to say a few words. So people are like children. Children, they have their parents, and their parents teach them, speak to them. You have to do this, you have to do this, you have to do this, you have to do this. And then children look at the parents, and the parents don't do what they say. So children usually imitate what they see, not what they hear. So they will say, you're not serious about it. So it's the same. As Manchita Prabhu said, you have to talk the talk, but you have to walk the walk also. That's what the Americans say. Yeah, it's nice to talk nicely, but you also have to act according to what you say. Just an example, I told you before probably. We were in Novo Mesto, so we had there was some where Lomanchita Prabhu, Lalit Govinda Prabhu, Loro, and there was this person. He was sitting on a table drinking a bit of wine. He was on this computer. Anyway, and I found out later that Lomanchita Prabhu already went to him to offer him some book, a book, and I went to him, and then he said, "Oh, your friend already has been there. I'm sorry." So I said, "No, you don't need to be sorry. He's a nice guy. You should be happy that you met him." It was like already, okay, these guys are a bit strange, but somehow, and after, so I said, I tried briefly, and I was like, okay. And then I was still around, and then after sometimes he was like, come. So I came, and he said, you know, it's really hard what you're doing to distribute to random something to random people on the street. Seems like he was working some sales or something. So he understood something about sales. He said, I'll give you a hint. You have to make open questions, not closed questions that they cannot say no, you know. Like, yeah, okay. But, you know, there's a difference what you're doing. These spiritual books, the soul actually likes these books. The soul actually wants these books. So sometimes the soul is just screaming there, hey, even if I do it imperfectly, hey, I want this book, you know. And then he opened a bit more, and then he said, you know, you have to really believe in the product you are selling. And then I said, yeah, you know, I'm actually reading these books, and then every morning I wake up at 4 o'clock, and I practice what's in the books. And then I go out to distribute them. And then people see this, you know, they understand this. They see, oh, this guy is convinced. And then they will take some books. And he was like, at this point he was like, okay, what's your best book? So I gave him a Bhagavad Gita. He gave a good donation. But the point is that nobody has this conviction, you know, like, people understand this, you know, like here is someone who is authentic, you know, like he's selling me a product, he's selling me this Bhagavad Gita, And he actually believes in this Bhagavad Gita. He's not just selling me some random product, get this lotion and you will be happy. And then it's useless. No, he actually believes in this product. So he was like, because nobody is convinced. In the material world, nobody is convinced of anything, Nobody has like this strong conviction. But we do. So people will know if you are for real or not. They will look at us and they know. They know better than we are, where we are. This, I'll give you an example later. So that's why the first principle in distributing books is that your sadhana must be strong, serious, and sincere. You actually follow the book, what's in the books. And you have to be a proof of the books. The books say this, and they have to see this in you. Sometimes you have people, they come to Krishna consciousness movement and they say, oh, you have such nice ideals in the books. It's such nice books. They describe so nice thing, but I don't see it in you. I don't see it in the community. What is it? So they're like, yeah, this is just fiction. So this following what's in the books, that's what inspires people. People know. They say purity. Srila Prabhupada said purity is the force. We were also there with, and Bhaktaloro was looking at Lomanchita, and we were trying to learn some tricks from Lomanchita. And I was looking at him, and what Ananda Vardhana Prabhu was saying yesterday, that you can repeat what Lomanchita Prabhu is saying. You know how many books you will distribute? Close to zero. Because he doesn't say anything special, He doesn't have any tricks. He doesn't have any. And I was looking at Bhaktaloro and I said, you can learn the tricks. But Lomanchita Prabhu wakes up at 1:30 and he's chanting all his rounds before Mangala Arati. And then he's reading and then he's doing this and then he's doing this for 30 years, So this is something that you cannot imitate. So if you just take what he says, you can get some benefit, but how much? So that's the point. The secret is not so much what you say; it's about who you are. I told also this guy in Novo Mesto that people, they don't care about the product. They buy you. They look at you and they're like, I like this person. If they like you, they will take the book. Doesn't matter, or at least if they like you, even if they don't want any books, you can still squeeze some donations out of them. Like, yeah, but you can help us because you're doing. That's it. They don't take the book. They don't buy the books. They buy the devotee. So, and they know. I told you before that about this devotee who was a bit interesting, and he was distributing books. And then I met the same person after, and he told me that this devotee told him that purity is the force, and this karmi, non-devotee, meat eater, wine, beer drinker, and so on, all the sinful reaction. He looked at him and was like, yeah. He knew. He was like, I want to smoke what he's smoking. He knew instantly, like he just looked at him and was like, you're not for real. So people know, sometimes you think, oh, this is karmi, this is karma. They have no idea, but they know. They look at you, they know. They know if you were there for Mangalarti or not. Better than you are, like even they don't have access to your sadhana shit, but they know if you are there or not. So that's very important. That if you want to have be successful in preaching, we have to follow and be examples. have to be exemplary. So what do we have to follow? We can follow the culture, so-called culture. Can be cultured in mundane terms. But what we have to follow is our Guru Parampara. We have to follow Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada many times said, we don't adapt our philosophy to please people. This is our philosophy. If people like it, good. If they don't like it, what to do? We cannot. There's this this episode with the Fugs, and there was this music band, and they were speaking. All their songs were about illicit sex, and Srila Prabhupada somehow gave a class about illicit sex on the day they came. They came for the program, and Srila Prabhupada gave a class on illicit sex, right, with all the details and combating everything. And they left, and then one of the devotees said, Srila Prabhupada, this is the hippie movement, you cannot speak like this about illicit sex. Srila Prabhupada says, I can't, this is Krishna's philosophy, I cannot adapt it just to please the Americans. This is the philosophy. No, I will not change it. So that's important. And this example is important because also you want to preach something, you have to show it. You want to preach about how important is sadhana bhakti, well, you have to come for the programs. If someone wants to preach that this sadhana bhakti is important, you have to wake up every day at this, and you have to come for this Mangala Arti, and this, and all the morning program is important, people have to see you. Oh, Prabhu, that's very nice what you're saying, but where were you at 5 o'clock when there was Mangala Arti? Where were you? They will not take you serious. Nobody will take you seriously if you don't follow, if you don't show an example. And it's you can see practically, like we had this Be a Monk challenge, and what a bit. Anyway, these people came, and I was like very direct with them. This is the program, you have to follow the whole program. You have to wake up in the morning, come for the full morning program, chant, do the services. You have to follow the program. And then we were also asking devotees, our dear devotees, of course we generally follow in the temple. But I was like, okay, we have to make an extra effort that we actually follow. Because if these people come and we tell them, it's very important, and they come here and it's empty, there's no one, it's only the new people who are there for Mangala Arti, they will think, they're not serious. Nobody's following. Why should I follow? So that's very practical. We have to show an example, and then we can expect that people will follow. Otherwise, they'll come, they will see, yeah, you're talking nicely, but you're not serious. Hare Krishna. So the point is that, and any kind of preaching, we have to do this. This is the basis. We have to be very strict and show an example. When you preach, you have to show an example. And it's more or less, there's two aspects probably. There's more. One is sadhana bhakti. Yeah, we're teaching people that they have to do some sadhana. So they have to do it. We have to do it. We cannot say that we are on the Raganuga platform and I have a direct connection with Krishna and I see Krishna, so I don't need to come for the Mangala Arti anymore. No? You have to show an example. Even if you would be, which we are not. I mean, that's most of us were not. Still, you have to do it. You either do it for yourself or you do it to show others, but you have to do it. You're in Prabhupada's movement, you have to do it. And the other thing is Vaishnava culture. We also have to show Vaishnava culture. How to deal with seniors, how to deal with the opposite sex. Because whatever we do, others will imitate. So, this Varnashrama actually means Krishna's culture, which is a lot different from the modern culture. For example, in modern culture, culture people are saying, "Hey miss, how are you today? Nice to meet you. You have nice dress." In Vaishnava culture, it's not like this. Vaishnava culture means there's no intimate exchanges between male and female. I was at one time, I was somehow new in Krishna consciousness. Not so new, maybe. And I went to Budapest to get some books. I was from Romania, and we went to Budapest to get some books. And we went there to put our shoes. And there was this young Mataji, educated in the Gurukul at Krishna Valley. And we were like putting our shoes, and she was like just there, just staying there, you know, like I'm waiting for us to finish that she can get her shoes. And I'm looking, yeah, this is strange. Come on, just go and get your shoes, you know, like, no, but she had this, she was educated, she had this idea, oh, we have to maintain a distance, you know, like, don't associate. I mean, in the West, someone would just take their shoes and, you know, like, maybe jump on you a bit. But no, she understood that, okay, the culture is a bit friendly distance. So, His Holiness Bhakti Vikash Maharaj has this book, Brahmacharya in Krishna Consciousness. And he explains there, he quotes Sridhar Swami's commentary on one of the texts in Srimad Bhagavatam in 6th canto. And he gives eight ways in which you act against Brahmacharya. And there's one of them is it's called Dali with women. Dali means like you just hang out. And this is Western culture. We think it's normal, you know, we just hang out, you know. Men, women, cats, dogs. Srila Prabhupada would consider this cats and dogs society. Men and women, hey, how are you? Hi, how are you? And then you start from there, and then, hi, how are you? Hi, how are you? And then you talk more intimately. Oh, hi, okay. We have a discussion. And then you see, oh, I'm having sex desires. I don't know where. Where did how did these sex desires come? Well, I don't know. So this is all connected, you know. So this darling with hanging out with women, this doesn't exist in Vaishnava culture, you know, like. Nowadays in devotee communities, if you don't hang out with him, you're considered he's impolite, you know, like he's uncultured. Even in Vaishnava community, in devotee communities, oh, he's uncultured. Why? Because he doesn't go around and speak with women. Hi, Mataji, how are you? Oh, such a nice sari you have today. But no, that's not Vaishnava culture. Kalakanta Prabhu, he has this project in America. And he's very much encouraging, okay, there has to be Matajis, there has to be Prabhus, but he has two rules which he's very strict about. One is the rule of three. The rule of three means that there's never one Mataji and one Prabhu alone. Never, ever, ever, ever. There have to be at least three there. You don't sit alone with one Prabhu and one Mataji. Never. And the second is that there's no inquiring confidentially and revealing your mind in confidence between Matajis and Prabhus. This is a no-no. Yes, you have some service to do, you do it, no problem. Okay, Srila Prabhupada would call this pass the salt. Yeah, just give me the salt. Okay, here you are. That's it. You do it professionally, no problem. If somehow you have to have a service together, no problem. Hi, hey Mataji, here's the salt. Okay, thank you, bye. Okay, that's it. So we should learn all these things, especially if you go to India, especially if you want to represent Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada was many times criticized because he made devotees out of the Westerners. And sometimes these people who criticize, I mean, Srila Prabhupada, of course, he was always defending his disciples, but sometimes these critics are correct, you know. Sometimes in the West we are born in some uncultured society, and we do come from this uncultured society. It's true. I mean, everything we were learning, it's uncultured. like Gandhi went to the UK and they asked him, "What do you think about the British culture?" And Gandhi said, "It would be a good idea." So, yeah, I mean, what do you think about the Western culture? It would be a good idea. Yeah. So we are coming from this culture. And of course, Lila Shuka Prabhu was saying this morning that Srila Prabhupada was so powerful, and by his mercy, even uncultured people in the West can join the Hare Krishna movement and they can do some service. But of course, it's there. This is the amazing mercy from Srila Prabhupada and the amazing potency he has, you know. But that's true, you know. If we are sincere, we can make some progress. Even if we start, doesn't matter from where we start. But still, nowadays, in the beginning, there was the ratio of devotees in the movement was more or less Westerners, mostly Westerners and few Indians. And nowadays, things are going in the other direction. There's many Indians who are joining. And for them, it's very easy to take Krishna consciousness. Why? Because they are cultured. Even if India is as it is now, nowadays, you know, especially if you go to Bengal, you know, go to Mayapur, they are cultured. They have culture, you know. You go to Mayapur temple, you see, you know, like even the locals, they understand. Oh, this, that, you know. They instantly understand culture. And because they have this culture, they have this understanding how to deal with authorities, how to deal with the opposite sex, then Krishna consciousness for them is so easy, so natural. Because this Vaishnava culture is supporting. And if you don't follow the Vaishnava culture, our progress is very slow. It's very difficult. If you don't know how to deal with seniors, I mean, this is we're always on the borderline of Vaishnava Aparada. And if you don't know how to deal with the opposite sex, we're always very agitated. So the point is that, yeah, we do come from very uncultured environments. We have to admit this, you know, like we were not born in a Vedic culture. But we should not stay there. We should not stay uncultured. We should not stay like that. We should learn the real culture And we should follow this culture and give an example, because that's what it means to represent Srila Prabhupada. It means, of course, you chant 16 rounds of Maha Mantra, you follow 4 regulative principles, but you also follow his program, and you follow Vaishnava etiquette. You know, when they ask him, Srila Prabhupada, how do we know who is your follower? Srila Prabhupada said, he's a perfect gentleman. Gentleman, of course, not according to modern culture, that he goes to the restaurant, he eats meat, but he cuts it with a fork. He uses a fork and a knife, so he's a gentleman. It's gentleman according to Vedic culture. Okay, so yeah, that's the point which is stressed in this section of the Bhagavad Gita, that we should be proper examples. If we want our preaching to be successful, then we should be proper examples and actually follow what Srila Prabhupada has given us, and then people will naturally follow us. They will recognize, oh, these people are authentic. There's some Shakti coming from them. So they will come. This temple will be full. Yeah, I mean, of course, we're doing, but you can always improve on this. You can always think to improve. Okay, Jai. We stop here. Give them some questions, concerns. Protests. Jai. Okay. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada ki